नमस्ते एंड वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल संस्कारा बाय निशिता। आई होप कि आप लोग एकदम स्वस्थ, मस्त और तंदुरुस्त होंगे। तो आज की वीडियो में हम डिकोड करने वाले हैं एक पाद कौंडिन्यासन की। ये एडवांस दिखने वाला आसन, आज हम इसे ब्रेक डाउन करेंगे इजी तरीके से, जानेंगे क्या इसकी एनाटॉमी है और क्या ऐसी ड्रिल्स है जो करने से ये आसना इजी हो सकता है। तो लेट मी टेल यू, कुछ महीने पहले इवन आई कुड नॉट डू दिस आसना, but with the right guidance, with the right drills and right technique and practice, I could nail this asana. So I hope कि आपको भी थोड़ा सा courage मिले और अपना mental block है उसको हटा के आप ये try करें, because no asana is impossible. You can always do it with the right guidance, right technique and practice. So without wasting any more time, let's dive in. So if you look at the asana, you will see that you require some amount of strength in the wrist. So we are going to start off the drills by warming up the wrist. So we'll sit in a tabletop position. Make sure you have cushion under your knee, and then you're going to press all the 5 fingers on the mat. So gently now press the small finger, then press the ring finger of both the palms, the middle finger, the index finger and the thumb. The idea is to press all the 5 fingers equally onto the mat. Make sure your shoulders and your wrist are in one line. And then stay here for a few breaths and then gradually release the arms. Now for the next drill, we are going to be in tabletop position, but the fingers are going to face the knee. Yes, we are going to get it as close as possible to the knee, and now we are going to try and sit down without lifting the palms up. The idea is to keep going, keep getting the sit bone closer to the heel without lifting the palms. So stay here for a few breaths, you will feel a stretch. And if you have hyper extended elbows, you don't have to straighten the arms. Keep a slight bend. Stay here for a few breaths. And then slowly come up and then release the hands. We are going to get both the palms facing forward, and now you're going to pull the fingers with the right hand of the left hand. So pull the fingers back, and with the fingers that you're pulling back, that is also going to push forward. So it's the push and pull action simultaneously happening. Keep pressing and keep pulling. Stay here for a few breaths, and then we are going to slowly switch our sides. So again, I'm pulling my finger and pushing at the same time. So you're pushing and pulling together. Stay here for at least 8 to 12 breaths, and then slowly release. Now, from here, we are going to get into Vasisthasana or the plank pose. So from the tabletop position, I'm going to just get the right leg back and then left leg back. Now I'm going to place my right palm in the center, and I'm going to shift all my weight and then lift the right hand. Now make sure you're not wobbling too much. Use your core to stabilize. And then slowly, we are going to switch our sides without much movement. And then slowly release. Get the knee down. So ideally, you should be doing all the drills for at least 8 to 12 breaths. Try to have a normal breathing. Don't exhale or inhale forcefully. Try to keep your breath normal when you're doing all the drills. Now again, we are going to get into tabletop position. Now from here, we are going to cross our ankles. Now we are going to slowly shift the weight forward so that the shoulders are ahead of the wrist. You'll feel some pressure on your wrist. Stay here for a few breaths, and then slowly come back. If you can do this, then you can do Eka Pāda Koundiyāsana. That means you have enough strength in your wrist. Let's do one more time. Cross your ankles. Shift your weight forward. Make sure that the shoulders are not in one line, they are ahead. So when you go, try to get it ahead. And then slowly come back. We are going to stay in tabletop position. Now we are going to activate our glutes because we need the glute strength when we lift the leg up. So from here we are going to straighten the right leg, and now using the glute strength we are going to inhale, lift the leg up and down. Inhale, leg up and down. Do this for 8 to 10 times. Once you have done, inhale, lift and hold. Try to get your leg as high as possible using your glute strength. You need to imagine you're using your glutes to lift the legs up and then slowly down. Let's do from the other side as well. So straighten the left leg, point your feet, use your glutes to lift up and down. You need to activate your glutes. Your constant attention should be towards the glutes. You're using your glute strength to lift up. Once you have done 8 to 12 reps, lift up and hold. Get your leg as high as possible using your glutes and then slowly come down. Now we are going to lie down on our stomach. We are going to activate our glutes more. Let's go. Lie down. Get your palms under your thighs and the palms are facing the ceiling. Okay. Now from here we are going to lift the legs up into Salabhasana. So take a deep breath in, lift the legs and then lift the chin up. Stay here for a few breaths. Use your glute strength to lift the leg up. And then slowly exhale and go down. Get the chin down. You can also lift one leg up, release, other leg up and release, and then get both the legs. Also we are going to open up the hip flexors. So for that we have our good old Asana. So we are going to get into the tabletop position always. With the right hand, the center, right foot forward. Now from here, right hand on the right knee, twist and then get the 4 fingers, 5 fingers or palm, whatever it is, middle finger touching the floor, pushing, opening up the hip flexors and stay here for few breaths. Try to take slow and deep breath and at least for 8 to 12 breaths. Again, when you get out from the asana, place both the palms on the floor and then get the right leg back. Now again, get the left leg forward. Now make sure when you're doing this asana, any asana for that matter, when the knees are on the floor, you have good cushion, you don't feel any awkwardness or uncomfortable feeling in your knees. You need to protect your knees. So you good cushion, knee pad, whatever it is. You can fold your mat double or triple and then slowly again opening up the hip flexors. Stay here for a few breaths and then come back. Place both the palms down. Now from here, lift the knee up, get the leg back. You can slowly open up the hamstring and the calf by alternate heel touch. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. And now we are going to walk forward without lifting the palms up. So let's go. Let's walk forward without lifting the palms up. Now get the palms and the toes in one line. into Uttanasana. Exhale and stay here, stretching the hamstrings, the calf. You, for a deeper stretch, push the tailbone out into anterior tilt for a deeper stretch. Stay here for few breaths. And then slowly come up. So these were some of the drills that you can do. Now let's get into the asana. So first of all, I'll try to explain before getting into asana, and then I'll get into the asana. So first and foremost is, when we get into the asana, get into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now I'll just tell you some tips and tricks, and then I'll get into the asana. So now you're in your Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now from here, keep your hip as high as possible, and then you have to come up on your toes when you get into the asana. Don't let the hip drop. So this is number one. Now when you get the right leg forward, so the left leg has to be straight. The knee cannot bend, because you are going to lose all that tension to lift that leg straight. We need that glute activation, and it cannot happen if the knee is bent. So that's the most important point you need to keep in mind. So let me show. We are in Adho Mukha Svanasana, keeping the hip high. We slightly bend the leg, and then so did you see the back leg when I was getting into the asana? It was completely straight. Now what some of us do is we bend that leg. We lose that tension, the glute connection, and that is very important in order to get the leg straight up. So when I started doing this asana, I used to kick. I used to get that momentum by kicking. So I'll show you what I used to do. So from here, lift the leg, now I used to kick this leg like this. So I'm not using my glutes. You need to use your glutes in order to get, see. So don't use the momentum. In the beginning it's fine. Keep in mind that you need your glute connection, you need your glute strength. That is very important. And then lift up. So if I had to tell you few important points, basic points that you need to keep in mind is, first of all, lift the hip high, don't let it sink down. Second of all, when you lift the leg up, make sure the knee is not bent. It has to be straight. And also you need a balance. So you need to figure out, don't go too forward, otherwise you're going to drop the chin on the floor. You need to make that perfect balance. So you need to keep all these things in mind when you perform this asana. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you learned something in this video. And if you did, then please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. It would mean a lot to me. मैं अपने चैनल में ऐसे ही कुछ कॉम्प्लेक्स से आसनास को ब्रेक डाउन करती हूँ, उनके ड्रिल्स बताती हूँ, ताकि आप वो आसना इजीली परफॉर्म कर सकें. और अगर आपको जानना है कौन कौन से आसना मैंने ऑलरेडी डिकोड कर दिया, तो आप मेरी प्लेलिस्ट में जा सकते हैं और चेक कर सकते हैं सारे आसना. और अगर कोई ऐसा आसना है जो आप डिकोड करना चाहते हैं, तो मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में ज़रूर लिख के बताइए. मैं उसको नेक्स्ट वीडियो में ज़रूर लूँगी. और हाँ, अगर आप एक योगा टीचर हैं जो अपनी जर्नी को स्किल अप करना चाहते हैं, देन डोंट फॉरगेट टू फॉलो आरोग्यम योगा एंड वेलनेस बाय सप्तशिखा. और हाँ, अगर आप एक ऐसे व्यक्ति हैं जो अपनी योगा जर्नी स्टार्ट करना चाहते हैं, हमसे योगा सीखना चाहते हैं, जानना चाहते हैं योगा की फिलॉसफी क्या है, देन यू नीड टू कॉल ऑन दिस नंबर. यू विल गेट ऑल द डिटेल्स. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. तब तक के लिए नमस्ते एंड टेक केयर.